Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 is a game called Bureau Kendall Rising on the Xbox 360. It's an indie game and it's the latest release from Twisted-EdGames.com. I think that's the full name of the publisher and the website, Twist-EdGames.com. And they're all games made by a guy called Guy Gaylor. He made a game I spoke about a few months ago called Investigate This, Scourge of the Scarecrow.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And previously to this, he'd made Bureau Shattered Slipper, which, despite the fact that it had an amazing title, I never got around to playing the full version of. And this has the same character, who I guess names Bureau. I never managed to discern. I know, sorry, it's called Bureau because she works for the FBI. What an idiot. Her name is Bureau. This Guy Gaylor character is a very talented artist, and there are actual 3D cutscenes in this, like miniature movies. They're very short, but you know, his games are amongst the best looking games on XSplig. But it's an interactive whodunit that could be played like Scourge of the Scarecrow with the DVD remote.
Right.
So there's a little bit of point and click. You also manage aspects of this case. Your tiny interactions, really not particularly gamey, and you sort of move around this map to pick in what order you investigate different aspects of the case. There's a few multiple choice questions, and a smattering of pretty innocuous mini games where you're sort of moving a crosshair around and you press it when you want it to shoot. I mean, like I said, it could be played on a DVD remote, and to be honest, the kind of people who would most enjoy this do not have a console and do not play video games. It's an interactive whodunit that's kind of, how did you describe interactive novel or something? It's not really a novel, and unlike Scourge of the Scarecrow had subtitles, and this has actually got everything's voice acted. The dialogue is as idiosyncratic as it was in the earlier game. To be polite, there are a lot of bad jokes in it. I mean, it's nonsensical, I mean, and needlessly complicated. The bad guy's this extremist who kills other extremists, and then for one moment there's just soldiers everywhere. You have to set up phony social media profiles for this guy, and then there's a guy who's got trench foot, and then there's this auctioned whiskey. And it's a scam.
I feel like I've slipped into a fever dream.
Yeah. I mean, it's amiable nonsense, but it is nonsense. It does not make any sense. But there are actual one thing that's it's stepped up in that there are actual consequences to your actions. In the other game you could do whatever you want and it was completely linear. Here, I got to a point where I made a couple of choices and then my boss turned up at my door and was just like, "You're so fired from the FBI. You shagged everybody." And then I thought, what a way for the game to end. Because I did. I slept with 2 of the people involved in the case. It just goes back before you slept with them, so you could not choose those options. Although it would have been terrible if the game just stopped and you couldn't. You had to go through the whole thing again if you wanted to see the ending. It's this whole thing, like all of this guy's games, very acquired taste. It's not really a game I'd recommend to any gamer, but I'm kind of happy that it exists, and it's just a shame that it's on a console because that's not its natural home, really.
Yeah. Bureau. She's right, Bureau.
Kendall Rising. I mean, if you're somebody who likes reading really bad airport pot boilers, just junk, but with a little bit of interactivity, it's hard for me to dislike it, but I would never recommend it to anybody.
Apart from that person that you just described.
Yeah, I mean, but again, they're never going to... A DVD you bought in an airport, stuck it in, hey, interact with your favourite mystery, starring Bureau. The female detective who works for the Bureau.
Oh, Jesus.